The former police officer convicted of violating Breonna Taylor's civil rights will be sentenced next week. The Justice Department is asking the judge to give him 1 day in prison amounting to time served and 3 years of supervised release. Breonna Taylor, you'll recall, was killed when officers were serving a no-knock warrant on her apartment in Louisville, Kentucky in 2020. A federal jury found Hankinson guilty of using excessive force in 2024. A DOJ filing says Hankinson fired his gun into Taylor's apartment building, but says Taylor's boyfriend fired first. Investigators found that Hankinson fired 10 shots, which did not hit anyone. I want to bring in CBS News Homeland Security correspondent Nicole Sganga to talk more about this. So, Nicole, just why is the Justice Department pushing for this sentence?
Vlad, this is a shocking 180-degree pivot of the Civil Rights Division, the Department of Justice's long-standing efforts to really champion and address and mitigate racial disparities in policing nationwide. But, this week, Harmeet Dillon, the Assistant Attorney General for the Civil Rights Division, asked the judge in the case to sentence Mr. Hankinson to just 1 day in prison plus 3 years of supervised release. Now, he faces a max sentence of life in prison, and the judge ultimately will consider the government's request next week. But Dillon wrote in her filing that the prosecution here was essentially too much, that Hankinson, he was already a felon, is considered a felon. He was fired from his job 5 years ago. He'd already paid a substantial price for his actions. The government also wrote in that sentencing memo that, quote, although he was a part of the team executing the warrant, defendant Hankinson did not shoot Ms. Taylor and is not otherwise responsible for her death.
So another headline, Nicole. President Trump is floating the idea of reopening the infamous former federal prison Alcatraz, not to be confused with Alligator Alcatraz in Florida. The reason why Alcatraz was closed was that it's actually kind of small and kind of old, and it was not really up to the task that was required of keeping the types of prisoners that are sometimes now held in supermax prisons on the island. So what are you hearing about the plans and what it would cost?
Yeah, Alcatraz seems to be a big buzzword right now. I mean, it's located in the San Francisco Bay. And as you mentioned, Vlad, it was closed as a maximum security prison in 1963 after 29 years of operation. And most of the reason, in addition to everything you mentioned, is it actually was too expensive to continue operating. Back in May, President Trump teased that he would order the historical site, which is now run by the National Park Service, to once again house violent criminals. And yesterday, it seemed like that was becoming more and more real. Attorney General Pam Bondi and Doug Burgum, who is the Interior Secretary, visited the island, which is known as the Rock, to basically try and figure out if this could happen. And they told Fox News crews who followed them, it's a terrific facility. They think it can happen. Now, under President Trump's plan, it would become part of the Bureau of Prisons under the Department of Justice. And it's also part of what the president says is his plan to curb the invasion of illegal aliens after years of negligence from Democrats. Now, Attorney General Bondi and Mr. Burgum shared photos on X. They showed the U.S. Coast Guard vessel that took them to the island touring the site. Neither one of them provided any details on how or when it would reopen. But Mr. Burgum did say that the work to renovate and reopen the site has already started. As for its cost, the plan could cost roughly $2 billion, according to an Axios report citing administration sources. Vlad.
All right, Nicole Sganga for us this morning from Washington. Nicole, thank you very much.
Thank you.